To have your net worth be in the top 1% of everyone 35 and under, you need to have a net worth of... Buenos dias, everybody. We're going to go for a little drive today and talk about net worth. My hope is that this video is more encouraging than anything else. Working towards your financial goals can be really discouraging sometimes, especially if other people around you aren't doing the same thing. And so hopefully this video just kind of, helps you light the fire to keep going. Tracking your net worth can also be discouraging if you are still paying off a lot of debt, because once you run your final numbers, you might realize that you actually have a negative net worth. But if you're in that boat, it's even more important to track your net worth because it will give you tangible milestones that will keep you motivated to pay off the rest of your debt and hopefully get your net worth in the positives. But this video is mainly for those of you who are debt-free and are working towards some sort of financial goal like early retirement or living off of one spouse's income. If you are in this stage, tracking your net worth becomes fun. Yes, you'll still have those tangible milestones, but you'll be shooting for the next $250,000 rather than just trying to get your net worth above zero. So here we go. So why is tracking your net worth even important? Well, for me, there's two things. Number one, it's a measure of your financial health. And number two, it forces me to make a list of my assets and liabilities. To measure your net worth, you take all of your assets and then subtract all of your liabilities. So your asset category is basically anything that has monetary value. So that could be your checking account, your savings account, your home, any retirement accounts that you have, like an IRA or a 401k. It could be investment properties. Basically, anything that has monetary value, you want to add all of that up. Then you're going to subtract all of your liabilities, which is everything that you owe on those things. So for example, with your house, you would take the current market value of your home, not what you paid for it, and then subtract the balance that's left on your mortgage. And whatever that number is, that's what you add to your net worth. Same thing would go for your car. Take what your car is currently worth, subtract what you owe, and add that number to your net worth. Now, you wouldn't have to do this with your checking account because hopefully you don't owe anything on your checking account. The median net worth for Americans under the age of 35, actually, let's play a game. Let's play over-under. Do you think that the median net worth for Americans under the age of 35 is under or over $20,000? What do you think? It's actually $14,000, which is basically like no debt and a paid-for car. So if you're in your early 30s and you have those two things, you already have a higher net worth than 50% of your peers. Great job. But if you do have these like high financial goals, that can't be your benchmark. You need more assets, and some of you need less liabilities, but that's a video for another time. So here's 3 benchmarks that you can kind of compare yourself to in a healthy manner to see how you're doing from a net worth standpoint. I treat these as easy, medium, and extreme. About to go over some railroad tracks here. It's gonna get bumpy. Here we go. Whoa. Oh boy. There we go. Okay, so the first benchmark that's kind of on easy level is your net worth should be 70% of your income. So if you're making $50,000 a year, your net worth needs to be $35,000 or more. If you're making $100,000 a year, your net worth needs to be $70,000 or more. Hopefully, most of you have either hit this or this is attainable within the next 2 years. Moving on to the second benchmark, which is like medium, your net worth should be 150% of your income. So if you're making $100,000 a year, your net worth should be $150,000. If you subscribe to this channel, this should be your minimum benchmark. With the financial goals that we talk about on this channel, you have to be aggressively saving and building your net worth because ultimately those assets are going to continue to pay you later in life, and it will allow you to do things like retire early or live off of one spouse's income without changing your lifestyle. This is also the stage where money starts becoming exciting. You start realizing that living below your means actually works, and your net worth is continuing to grow, and your income is continuing to grow, and you start getting this like almost exponential growth in your net worth, which is really neat to see. You also can start doing things like paying off a car, buying a house, or looking at a rental property. You start learning how money works and how to multiply it. And at that point, that's where you can start looking at going after the extreme benchmark. To have your net worth be in the top 1% of everyone 35 and under, you need to have a net worth of $950,000. Sounds crazy, right? Well, my wife and I actually passed this threshold last year. What we did was I'm just kidding.
Got him!
Oh, that was a good one. You should have seen your face. That was hilarious. I was so concerned about that joke, I made a wrong turn. So no, my wife and I do not have a net worth of $950,000 yet. But I'm 28, so that means I got 7 years to go. And to be honest, I think we're actually going to be able to do it. Now, obviously, a side note, this is dual income. So I don't know if the stat was specifically talking about just single 35-year-olds. Nevertheless, it'd still be an awesome accomplishment to hit $950,000 by the time we're 35. I think a lot of it is actually going to depend on the real estate market. If we can lock down 2 more properties in the next 2 to 3 years, and the market sees really good appreciation, I think we'll hit it. But there are so many unknowns between now and then. Once we have kids, it can completely change our lives in a really good way and make us change some of our financial goals. But as of now, that's where we're headed. So there you go, 3 ways to see if you're on track with your net worth. And then last thought before the video ends, net worth does not measure happiness. So use it as a tool, not as an idol. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time.